Let's get straight to the point. You are standing in a parking garage on the fourth level, concrete dust in your throat, a wire taped to your chest that stopped transmitting 40 minutes ago. The man across from you has a gun in his waistband and your real name on his lips. Not your cover name, your real name. And the worst part, the part that will keep you awake for the rest of your life, however long that turns out to be, is that you're not sure anymore which side of this you're supposed to be on. But before you understand how you got here, you have to understand where you started. You grow up believing in the architecture of justice, your father's badge on the kitchen table every night, the weight of it, the shine of it, the way he treated it like something sacred. You join the Bureau at 26 with a law degree and a clean record, and a certainty that the world divides neatly into the guilty and the people who stop them. Quantico sharpens you. Your first field assignment confirms everything you thought you knew. Then your supervisor calls you into a room with no windows and a man you've never met, and they explain that the Caruso family has been untouchable for 11 years, and they need someone who can get inside, someone smart, someone disciplined, someone who can play a role without losing themselves in it. They pick you because you're the best candidate. You'll later understand that's the same reason a company hires someone for a job that will destroy them. Your cover name is Danny Reese. Danny grew up in South Boston, did 2 years for aggravated assault, knows how to move product and keep his mouth shut. You spend 3 months becoming Danny, the walk, the cadence, the specific way he holds a cigarette, even though you don't smoke. Your handler, a woman named Carver with reading glasses she never actually uses, tells you the assignment is 18 months maximum. Get close to the Caruso operation's mid-level distribution. Gather evidence. Come home. 18 months. You repeat it like a prayer. The introduction happens through a bartender named Sal, who owes the Bureau a favor he can never fully repay. One conversation, one job offer. You say yes the way Danny Reese would say yes. Slow, suspicious, like you're doing them a favor. 3 days later, you're moving a shipment through the Port of Newark, and a man named Gino Caruso is watching you from a black SUV, deciding whether you live or die based on how you carry yourself in the next 4 minutes. You carry yourself perfectly. That's the first problem. Gino is not what you expected. You expected a caricature, the slicked hair, the gold, the casual cruelty of a man who has never been told no. What you get instead is someone who reads Camus, who asks you what you think about loyalty as a concept, who has a daughter named Rosa who draws horses on every surface she can find. He is terrifying in the way that genuinely intelligent, dangerous people are terrifying. Not because he seems monstrous, but because he doesn't. He offers you a drink. He asks about your mother. He laughs at something you say, and the laugh is real. You file your first report that night. Everything is going according to plan. The months pass. You get closer. Gino starts calling you Danny, the way he calls his actual people by name, like the name itself is a form of ownership. You attend dinners. You sit in rooms where decisions get made. The Bureau's intelligence on the Caruso operation improves dramatically. Carver tells you you're doing exceptional work. Think of it as a performance review for a job that involves watching people disappear. But here's the thing about deep cover that nobody tells you in training. It's not the lying that gets you. You're good at lying. It's the truth that sneaks in sideways. The truth that Gino's crew is, in its own warped way, a community. That these people show up for each other in ways your actual colleagues never have. That Danny Reese, the fiction you invented, is somehow more comfortable in this world than you ever were in yours. 18 months becomes 24, then 30. Carver says they need more. The case is building. Just a little longer. You stop counting. The first time you cross a line, you tell yourself it's tactical. A low-level dealer named Petey is about to give you up to save himself. You can see it in the way he looks at you, the calculation behind his eyes. You get to Gino first. You tell him Petey has been skimming. You don't know for certain that's true. You know for certain what happens next. Petey suffers a workplace incident, the kind that requires a closed casket. You file a report that omits your role entirely. Carver signs off without asking questions. It's a brutally efficient system. Everyone gets what they need, and only Petey pays the price. Something shifts in your chest. You don't call it guilt. You call it the cost of doing business. The second time is easier. The third time, you don't notice it happening. By the time you've been under for 4 years, you have stopped filing complete reports. Not because you're protecting Gino, you tell yourself that. But the truth is simpler and worse. You're protecting Danny. Danny, who has a life here. Danny, who Gino trusts with things he doesn't trust his own blood with. Danny, who is, by any functional measure, more real than the person who drove to Quantico 11 years ago with a law degree and a clean conscience. Gino's daughter Rosa is 12 now. She still draws horses. She calls you Uncle Danny. The case that was supposed to take 18 months is now the longest-running undercover operation in the field office's history. Carver has been replaced by a man named Holt, who has never once asked how you're doing and meant it. The Bureau wants an arrest. They want Gino. They want the whole structure. They want you to deliver it. You have everything they need. You've had it. For 2 years. You keep finding reasons to wait. And then Gino calls you into his office. The real office. The back room behind the restaurant where the walls are thick and the conversations don't leave. And he slides a photograph across the table. It's you. Not Danny. You. Outside your actual apartment. The one you've kept as a ghost address. The one that exists in your real name. Someone has been watching. Someone knows. He looks at you with those calm, reading Camus eyes. "Tell me who you are," he says. 6 words. The quietest sentence you've ever heard. The wire on your chest stopped transmitting 40 minutes ago. You checked. You don't know if that's a malfunction or a message. You don't know if Holt's team is outside or if they burned the operation and left you in here alone. You don't know, in this moment, which answer you're going to give. What you know is this. Somewhere in the last 4 years, the line between the role and the person playing it dissolved so completely that you can't find the seam anymore. You came in here to destroy this world. You built a life in it instead. The Bureau calls that a liability. Gino would call it loyalty. The most ironic part, you're not sure either of them is wrong. You look at the photograph. You look at Gino. The parking garage is 4 blocks away. That's where this ends, one way or another, with your real name in someone's mouth and a gun in someone's waistband, and 40 minutes of silence where the cavalry used to be. You think about your father's badge on the kitchen table, the weight of it, the shine of it, the way he treated it like something sacred. You think about Rosa's horses drawn on every surface she can find. You open your mouth. Somewhere across the city, a new recruit is sitting in a room with no windows and a man they've never met. They're being told the assignment is 18 months maximum. They're nodding. They're certain. They have a clean record and a law degree and a belief that the world divides neatly into the guilty and the people who stop them. They pick the best candidate. They always do. That's the whole problem.